I'll ask you to move the chairs and give a good look to the top table and give you a round of applause to David the groom.
He's from Brum. Sorry, got you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Perhaps you've already noticed, but today is March 17th, St Patrick's Day.
Islanders won.
Liz and I have chosen a day to marry as has real significance and meaning to the Irish. But to us, from this day on, is going to mark the anniversary of our special occasion. With our anniversary falling on St Patrick's Day every year, it's a no-brainer as to where we should have our romantic anniversary weekend away. I hear O'Neill's has a great place to go, Birmingham's got one. Okay, today you're all about to witness a unique event in history. The very first and very last time that my wife is going to let me speak on behalf of both of us.
You're not wrong there either.
However, it is a privilege and an honour to do so. I just hope that so soon into a married life, I don't let this down. To be honest, I didn't really know where to start with writing a groom's speech. It's my first one. So I thought I'd consult one of my good friends, Mr. Google. After a couple of hours of trawling the net, I'd come across some really good material. But then I remembered I was supposed to be writing a speech. I was thinking he's going to have to cross off his speech out. Before I start, there will be plenty of toast over the next few minutes, so please make sure your glasses are full. But for those of you who are going to find it difficult, keep standing and sitting for the toast. Please just remain seated. I don't want anyone falling over the back of the seats and stealing the attention away from me. On behalf of my wife and I, I'd like to thank you all for sharing our special day with us here today at this beautiful venue, Nailcote Hall. And also for your kind wishes, cards and presents. It's lovely to have so many of our family friends here today in one place. There are times when it's good to be surrounded by people who are important to you, and for us this is one of those occasions. And I really hope you're all enjoying today every bit as much as we are.
Yes.
I know that some of you have travelled a long way to be here today, and that means a lot to us. We really wouldn't have been the same without all of you, although it would have been cheaper. Unfortunately, it's not been possible to have everyone we love here with us today, but we know they're here with us in spirit. Not only are they here with us in our thoughts today, but more importantly, they're here with us in our hearts. As many of you know, Lizzy's dad, Charlie, sadly passed away about 2 years ago, pretty much a year after we got together. It means everything to me that I got to know him and that you also got to know me too. I feel very thankful of that. If you were here today, I want to reassure him that I'll do everything within my power to love, protect and care for Liz.
Well said.
To ensure that every day she has a reason to be smiling.
Welcome, David.
So with them in mind, would you all please stand, raise your glasses, we join me in a toast to absent family and friends.
Proper nearly not my champagne.
David.
Trying to film at the same time.
Together as well. First of all, I sincerely like to thank Liz's mum, Pippa, Only for giving me the blessing to marry your daughter, but also for making me feel part of the family right from the beginning. You made me feel like an ordinary part of the family. I cannot thank you enough for your generosity and support that you show for us, not only in this wedding stage, but in everything that we do. Let me have some flowers for you. On behalf of Liz and myself, I would like to thank my mum and dad for making me who I am today. Whether you knew it or not, all of your influences over the years have helped create Liz's ideal husband. But seriously, I do want to thank you for your support and welcoming Liz into the Stephenson family. Mum, we have some flowers for you as well. No flowers for you. We'll get you a pie later. When I proposed to Liz, it was in the Lake District. I'd never been before, but I'd heard it was a romantic place to go. I booked into a hotel. It used to be a house that Beatrix Potter and her family used as a holiday home. Hence the table names. I called and advised the hotel of my forthcoming intentions, and they put us in the Beatrix Potter suite. It was a gorgeous, large room that had views out onto the lakes. On the evening of our first night, I asked Liz to marry me. Her initial answer was, "Are you joking?" I didn't think it was the kind of question you could answer with another question. In the end, she answered correctly. As well as gaining a fiancé that night, another bonus. I was too in shock to eat the rest of the dinner, so I got I'd now like to thank my wife for agreeing to marry me and making me the happiest man in the world. I think you will all agree that she does look absolutely stunning today. And when I saw her clear at the top of the stairs, she did take my breath away and almost made me cry. I held back. I should have done, but I managed to hold back. There's so many things to love about Liz. She's intelligent, generous, hardworking, popular, and of course a brilliant judge of character. One of the reasons I love her is her love of fashion, style, and everything glamorous, which is probably a main reason for marrying me. Seriously though, since we've been together we haven't had one argument, even raised our voices at each other. And I know people say that you need to argue every now and then to let off steam, but I think if you don't need to argue, that's got to be a good thing, right? We've been together for 3 years and they really have been the happiest, most relaxed and enjoyable 3 years of my life. Every day just keeps getting better and better. I now can't imagine my life without her. I never want to be. I'm so excited about starting a married life together. Oh God.
Nearly there.
No, I've got loads of
That's why he's crying.
Liz, I love you with all my heart. And today really is the greatest day of my life. It's the greatest day of my life because I married my best friend. Toast to the bride. Apart from my wife, there's one other special lady that also breathtaking stay that I would like to thank on behalf of my wife and I. Our bridesmaid, Lizzy's sister, and my now sister-in-law, Michelle. Michelle, thank you for helping Liz in the preparation for today, and also for arranging the head party. You've done a brilliant job. And the congrats. And the congrats, yeah, the congrats. And we have a small gift for you as well.
Thank you.
Standing again, one more toast to the bridesmaid.
Keep sipping it.
We're going to do loads of these.
How many more?
You're bored yet? I'd like to say a very special thank you to Dick, Liz's granddad, for giving her away today. And I know it meant a lot to her today. And we have something for you as well. Right, before we get on to the best men, we'd like to thank Joe for being our usher today. For those who don't know Joe owns his own very successful building. And he works every hour that God sends. And every time we arrange to go out, we'll meet up with Joe and Michelle, they're always late, because Joe works right up until the last minute. So we thought, if we had him working here for us today, there's no chance of him being late. So show our appreciation for that, Joe. We have something for you. Almost there, last bit. There's an unwritten rule of wedding etiquette that states. Sorry, there is an unwritten rule of wedding etiquette that states nobody should look more handsome than the groom. Sorry. Our best men, Andy and James, sticking to that perfect. I'd like to thank James and Andy for all their advice and opinions I've needed over the past few months. James for his beautiful reading in the ceremony, and Andy for helping arrange the stag do, and also for looking after the rings today. Most importantly, I'd like to thank them for being not only brothers but true friends. However, there is something that I need to make you aware about them, and not many of you will know this. They sadly suffer from a genetic condition that occasionally causes them to drift in and out of weird, strange flights of fantasy. They've also been known to make the fanciful stories absolutely perfect. Anyway, it's only right that I advise you this all ahead of their speeches. As I say, they're not only brothers, but they're true friends to me. I wouldn't want you to go upsetting them. So if you could bear with them, even join them on their journey to make-believe. Send you over to Andy and James.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We've arrived at that time of the day where we must rise and we come to our seats and make fools of ourselves. Well, some of us anyway. Dave, I hope you made the most of the speech. Now that you're a married man, it's the last time we get to speak for 3 minutes without being interrupted. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name's Andy. For those of you who do, I apologise, and please don't heckle me. My name is actually Andy, would you like a drink? For those of you who come into the bar later this evening, I'd appreciate it if you could use my full name, please. I am in fact David's younger, funnier, a much better looking brother. And isn't it great to see that I'm finally getting the recognition I deserve of being named the best man? Before I undertake the customary duty of giving David an uncomfortable few minutes, it's the official duty of the best man to thank Lizzy's bridesmaid. So, Michelle, congratulations today, you've done a fantastic job. Not least of which was getting Liz here today, as I believe she put quite a struggle. You've done a fantastic job today, but I've got to say you look simply radiant. Only eclipsed by the bride herself, Liz, who I'm sure everyone will agree looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
I'd also like to thank Joe, David's usher. I know David had a nightmare of a task when trying to select a friend capable of a highly difficult task of pointing at chairs today.
Didn't even manage that.
It was a great honour to be asked by David to be one of his best men today. An offer that I accepted without hesitation, obviously. After all, there's nothing that I wouldn't do for David, and there's nothing that David wouldn't do for me. In fact, we spent most of our lives doing nothing for each other. They say a best man speech should resemble a miniskirt. Be short enough to be interesting, but long enough to cover the essentials. So here goes. So what I'm going to tell you about the groom. David John Stephenson was born at 5:30 p.m. on the 1st of February 1980, although I know for a fact he still tries to tell people it's 1984. I tried to link Dave's birthday to a major world event, but it appears that nothing of any importance. Although I'm reliably informed that the nurses at Good Hope Hospital still refer to that date as every Friday. Like most brothers, David and I have had our fair share of sibling rivalry. We always used to try and beat each other up. We always used to try and get each other into trouble. We've certainly had our fair share of ups and downs. I remember back to the times when a petty argument would arise from nothing. David would call me Big Ears, and I would call him Smelly. It would all spiral out of control. We'd both end up running to Mum in floods of tears. Sure enough, the next day, Dave would drop me an email at work. As part of my research, I also discovered the tradition of the best man to sing the groom's praises and tell you all of his many, many qualities. Well, I'm sorry, but I can't sing and I'm not prepared to lie. Another one of our responsibilities as part of the speech was to ensure that the groom arrived on time, relaxed and looking good. This was a very difficult task. After all, we're best men, not plastic surgeons. As Nick Loaf once said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So, Dave and Liz have been together for 3 years now, and in life it's difficult to imagine Morecambe without Wise, Batman without Robin, Del Boy without Rodney, and of course David without Liz. Now, being the computer geek that David is, it seemed almost inevitable that he would meet his future wife on the internet.
Not many people know that.
I'm happy to say it was an internet dating site, and not one of these other sites that David so regularly frequents. Sorry, David. I forgot you're married now. So not many people can claim to have been on the happy couple's first date, but it gives me a great sense of pleasure to say that I was there. Being the romantic yet thrifty kind of chap that Dave is, he decided to take Liz on their first date to Pitcher and Piano. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the Pitcher and Piano, it's a trendy little cocktail bar in Birmingham city centre. A trendy little cocktail bar that his younger, funnier, much better looking brother just so happened to be working at and could make sure the night remained economical. I'm not saying Dave's type, but on a night out he drinks Horlicks to make sure he's asleep for a bar around. I remember standing behind the bar, glancing over from time to time, as Dave's subtle yet outrageous and cringeworthy flirting techniques continued to amaze him as always they had. It's clear to anyone that knew David that he liked this girl. There was a spark, a connection. This was indeed confirmed when Liz slipped off to the toilet to powder her nose. David leapt across the bar and shouted, yes, shouted, "Bit, isn't she?" I'd like to think that it was my approval on that fateful evening that helped lead them to where they are today. I know a lot of you are probably sitting there wondering, what does Liz see in Dave? Well, I've known Dave all my life and I can tell you, I don't know. Maybe it's Dave's geekiness and love for all things electronic. Maybe it's the way he manages to look at the world in a completely unique way. A way that only he sees it and leaves others around him scratching their head. Or maybe it's the way, maybe it's his unrivaled ability to make people laugh without even meaning to, by being himself. Who knows what it is that Liz sees in Dave? Maybe it will remain. Like when men have nipples and why women go to the toilet in pairs, one of life's great mysteries. So Dave and Liz have finally got married, for better for worse, which is quite apt really, because Dave couldn't have done any better and Liz couldn't have done much better. I do have to say though, Dave, just how lucky you are. You leave here today with a wife who's warm, loving and caring. A wife who is beautiful and radiates beauty wherever she goes. And Liz, how lucky you are. You leave here today having gained a gorgeous dress. Joking aside, ladies and gentlemen, I do have some serious stuff I'd like to say, and I know for a fact I won't get the opportunity again. Standing here on my brother's wedding day, in front of so many friends and family, I feel overwhelmed with an unusual sense of admiration for David. For it's today that I realise that my big brother, my cruel big brother, the big brother that once gave me a bruise the size of a small dog, using his aftershave without permission, is actually, carnival right, I guess. It's impossible to summarise the 27 years or so that I've known Dave, but I'd just like to say over the years he's been the best big brother a little brother could wish for. And I know that he will maintain his high standards as a loving husband to Liz. Okay, I can tell everyone here is having an absolutely great day today. That's ultimately down to the weeks and months of time that Dave's put in. Dave and Liz have put in, sorry. that wasn't a joke, by the way. They've done a fantastic job, so on behalf of everyone here today, I'd just like to say thank you. On behalf of the entire wedding party, I'd just like to thank everyone here for coming today, for making this such a special occasion, so thank you to you all as well. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great pleasure. Oh no, sorry.
You got much to start. Did you drop those?
Anyway, so ladies and gents, I'll soon be handing over to James for the other best man and brother for his speech. I know I'd lose it at some point. So ladies and gentlemen, it now gives me an immense pleasure to ask you to be upstanding once more and raise your glasses to the most important people in the room, the bar staff. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses to the bride and groom, the new Mr. and Mrs. Stephenson, to Dave and Liz.
Dave.
Good afternoon, now it's good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Andy, for such a diligent speech, and I'll continue to carry on in the same ilk, but try not to take so long, because I can see you're all restless and you want to get to the bar. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name's James, and I do have the great honour of declaring myself as David's younger brother, and more importantly for today, his best man. However, when you see our three faces at the bar tonight, please don't ask me where I was when they gave out the good looks, because to be honest, it's quite old. It's old, but it's not very funny. So you may be wondering why there are two best men standing up here today, and it's perfectly simple. David wants to appoint one best man up for the occasion, but sadly he couldn't find one. So he embarked upon two barely competent ones instead, in the likes of me and Andy. But hey, we're trying our best. So I'd first like to give my personal heartfelt congratulations to the happy couple, the beautiful bride and groom, Liz and David Stephenson, wishing you all the happiness that you both deserve. I'd also like to reiterate the praise to Liz's bridesmaid, Michelle. She's done an excellent job, and obviously Liv's looking absolutely impeccable today. Also thank you again for the cravats. We realised about 10 minutes before we had to be ready that we didn't actually know how to tie cravats, and Michelle came to the rescue, so thanks for that. And to Joe, again, thank you very much, you've done a great job. I can't really say this anymore, your last job is to be to the bar, but you've already done that, so you can do it again. Or maybe I'll play with you. So let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, Andy has given quite a lot of stick, more than I possibly have anticipated the bridegroom this afternoon. So it's my pleasure as the sensible one to deliver a serious speech and inform you why the beautiful Liz has married David here today. However, apart from still being puzzled about why Liz has married David here today, regrettably I haven't got the time to rewatch my speech, and I certainly haven't got the talent to do it on top of my head. So sorry Dave, but here goes. So David, being 4 years my senior, he first introduced me to the finer things in life, such as alcohol and women. It was the age of 16, down at some of Tamworth's finer establishments, if such even exist. That David demonstrated the art of attracting the opposite sex. And needless to say, I spent my teenage...
same sex.
Anyway, I ended up spending my teenage years a very lonely man. Anyway, the thing I love about David is he knows, I think you'll all be able to register for this, he knows a little, sometimes he knows a little bit, sometimes he knows a lot. And sometimes he knows a ridiculously insane amount about lots of different things, which makes him a great person to have a conversation with. The downside to this delightful trait, however, is that when David's involved, you know that there'll always be two sides to every argument. It'll be your opinion and the right one. However, I have, of late, seen the tables turn, and Liz, you really do give him a run for his money. So sorry, mate, I think you've met your match, and I think you've lost the trousers. So now I've taken the liberty to find out a number of things that perhaps David might want to reflect upon. A few tips to add to Andy's list, which may stand you in good stead for your life ahead as Liz's husband. Firstly, when you order a Chinese takeaway, your aim is not to keep the takeaway in business with the size of the order. I have it on good understanding that David went on a special trip to IKEA to find plates, sizes and weight of platters to accommodate such amounts. And in the words of the bride, ladies and gentlemen, repulsive. The smell the next day isn't too great either. Secondly, if you have a hangover, like I'm sure you'll have tomorrow, you've got to deal with it. In sickness and in health does not apply to self-inflicted injury. It's probably not worth, after 16 years, still coming out with the line, never again. And finally, David's body clock. It never seems to settle, and he wakes up quite early, even on weekends. This is fine, however, he tends to get bored of his own company quite quickly and will persist in conversation knowing full well that Liz is still sleeping. And once you have successfully disturbed your wife from a peaceful sleep, do not push your luck by blasting the latest mix from Ministry of Sound that you somehow managed to wire into every single room. On a more serious note, David really is a lot more than gizmos and gadgets. No, believe me, he really is. Underneath the latest 5-star Bose speakers or the new Samsung Galaxy Nexus that fly you to the moon and back, or more importantly remind you of when your wife's birthday is a caring, loyal and sincere brother and friend who always has the time to listen and give invaluable and thoughtful advice, the traits of which I have no doubt will be reflected for many years to come in the marriage that we've all had the pleasure to witness today. David, I'm so glad that you've married such a lovely and caring lady in Liz. She truly is as beautiful on the inside as she is on the outside. And you'll make an excellent addition to our family too. I do not need to wish you any luck together as you open a new chapter in your lives, securing a loving and prosperous marriage. Finally, I'd like to thank David and Liz on behalf of myself and everyone here for making this occasion so special in amongst all our closest friends and relatives. And also to Liz's mum, Pippa, and again to Michelle, who've done a wonderful job, and obviously our mum as well. So the hard work really has paid off to make this day a day that you'll treasure for the rest of your life. So please, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the evening, as it's my honour to close the speeches with another toast to the bride and groom as I ask you to raise your glasses for a final time this afternoon to David and Liz.
We actually have a message here from Steve and Anne. So basically, we've got family that live in America that couldn't be here today, so I've got a message to read out from them. Nice species. His words, not mine. Today and Liz, we're so sorry that we can't be with you today as we celebrate your wedding and embark on a new, exciting chapter of your lives together. Just know that we're thinking about you as we send all our love and our very best wishes for your fabulous day and a lifetime of happiness together. If we could offer a couple of pieces of sound advice that may help along the way. Love one another and you will be happy. It's as simple and also as difficult as that. To keep your marriage brimming with love, whenever you're wrong, admit it. Whenever you're right, keep quiet. We're looking forward to hopefully being able to see you later this year. But in the meantime, try to savour every moment. We hope you have a truly wonderful day. With all our love and best wishes, Uncle Steve, Auntie Anne, Becky, Rich and Vicky.
Ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, we will need to do what we call a room change around to install the DJ and for the party this evening. Ask you very kindly if you'd like to exit through to the bistro area, and we'll see you back later, but please do take your own possessions with you. Everything looks very different when you come back. Thank you very much.